Spartans, welcome back to another episode on the channel where we help you awaken your inner endurance athlete. And it's hard to become an endurance athlete without the right equipment. And so if you do any sort of running on the trails or outdoors, then stay tuned because we are going to be covering the Altra Superior shoe. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. So today we are going to talk about the three main ways that the Altra Superior trail shoe is different from the other Altra trail shoes, but also three staples that all Altra trail shoes have. But before we get started on this shoe review, down in the video description, I've put a link to the Start Spartan Daily Ritual. These are a collection of habits from some of the most successful people in the world from all areas of life, and I've distilled it down into simple steps that you can do, and I've distilled it down into simple steps that you can take each day to start Spartan strong. So again, go ahead and click that link down in the video description if you want to start your day off Spartan strong. So the first way that the Altra Superior trail shoe is different is that this is their most minimalist trail shoe that they offer. The sole is going to be a lot thinner than the Lone Peak or the Olympus, which is their max cushion shoe. But I've run in all three of these shoes and I prefer the minimalist myself. And the reason is because when you've got less sole, there's less between you and the ground, which I mean is obvious, right? But the benefit of that, well actually there are several. One benefit is that you are more connected to the ground. You can feel more what's going on and take that sensation in through your feet to know how to plant your feet. It also promotes proper foot strike. When you've got more cushion, you can run with improper form, which generally is felt to be with the heel strike, where your heel comes down first and the foot rolls, because it puts force right through your heel into your leg, your knee, your hip, up your back. And it tends to allow you to overstride and get your foot too much in front of you, which actually is like applying the brake every time you take a stride. But when you don't have that cushion there, it hurts like crazy. I mean, go out on the sidewalk and run barefoot and see if you're pounding your heel into the cement. There is no way you're gonna do that because it hurts. So what you're going to do is land more on the midfoot or forefoot, and that is generally agreed upon as the proper form. And if you think about it, like, thousands of years ago, humans weren't born with thick cushion shoes, right? I mean, they had, they still had to run, they still had to get places. And so you can emulate the same way that humans have been running for, thousands of years before all of these thick shoes were invented. Another benefit is that they've shown in studies that minimalist shoes, because they promote proper form, tend to cause less knee injuries and less pain in the anterior, the front part of your leg. The one caveat with that is that if you haven't had minimalist shoes before and you've had really cushioned shoes, you want to go really gentle because your foot is going to feel a lot more of the force that's coming up from the ground, and it can cause injuries if you go too far or too fast, train too hard in minimalist shoes. The second way that the Altra Superior is different from the rest of their Altra's trail shoes is that they've got more minimalist lugs. Again, like all of these things that we're going to be talking about is basically this is the minimalist shoe, right? Other lugs, they tend to be deeper. They're going to give you more tread and traction. So if you're on really gnarly terrain, you may want a different shoe. But personally, I've run in all kinds of places, rock, dirt, mud, just about. I actually use them as my road running shoes as well. And I still find that I get enough grip and traction as long as I don't have more than 500 miles, which I do have on several of these pairs of shoes. But they do have a more minimalist look. So if you want, a bigger, deeper grip and tread, then this probably isn't the shoe for you. The third way that this shoe is different from the other Altra Trail shoes is that it comes with a removable rock plate. Because they are more minimalist, if you step on even a small pokey, pointy rock, like you can feel it, pushing up through the bottom of the shoe. And it can be a bit painful. So having this rock plate in there can actually help protect your foot. I keep them in mine. And over time your foot gets tougher, the muscles are stronger, the skin gets tougher, and so it doesn't bother you as much. You could maybe take them out they're super lightweight, but if you really wanted to cut weight, you could take them out anyways, but you have the option of putting them in or out. And so that is really nice. Now, the three staples that all Altra Trail shoes have is that they've got a wide toe box, and I cannot tell you how amazing that is. Like, I will not run in any other shoe since I discovered Altra, and I've been in Brooks, Nike, I've tried Hoka's, New Balance. I've run in all kinds of shoes. As soon as I put a different shoe on, I start to get blisters. And I think part of the reason is because traditional shoes are more narrow in the toe box. And as you'll see in this x-ray, I mean, it does compress your toes together. You've got more friction and pressure against those toes. And within 5 or 6 miles, I start to get blisters in other shoes when I can go 10, 15, 20 plus miles in my Superiors without having any problem, or any other Altra shoe for that matter. That wide toe box is huge for me and a huge selling point. Another thing that all Ultras have, whether it's a trail shoe or just a regular Ultra shoe, is that there's zero drop, meaning the heel, the thickness of the sole at the heel to the front of the foot is the same. So it's like walking flat. Again, when humans first started walking and running, we didn't have, heels, like thick elevation on the back of our feet when we were walking and running, like, running barefoot, or just, some sort of protective layer on the bottom of the foot just to keep, from getting cuts and things like that. And that's what zero drops do. And I believe Hoka's also have zero drops. And there are a lot of benefits to a zero drop shoe. Because of the zero drop, you don't tend to come down on the heel because it's not as thick. You tend to land more on the forefoot or the midfoot. Because of that 1-to-1 ratio, it more naturally aligns the foot, the foot, which affects the whole kinetic chain, the knee, the hips, the back. It's going to help promote that proper running technique of landing on the midfoot and forefoot and then coming down and then pushing off instead of coming down on that heel and braking if you overstride. But also it's more weight balanced, right? I mean, because the sole is the same thickness throughout, the weight on the front of the foot is the weight on the same of the back. It doesn't have more weight on the back to give you that propensity to come down and land on your heel. The third really nice feature that separates the trail shoes that Altra has from their road shoes, and this is the one big difference on their trail shoes, is they have what's called a Gator trap. So on the back of the shoe, they have, it's called right here, the Gator trap. It's that little trap right there. And that's what it is. It's a little Velcro system. So that when you've got your Gators, they hook onto the front. They've got these little eyelets right up here on the front that you can see right there, that most Gators are gonna have a hook that go into that. And then Altra, if you buy their Gators, you'll notice it's got this Velcro, this little Velcro square pad here on the back, so that you can then stick that onto the Gator trap and then trap that sucker down. And I mean, it holds that Gator onto your shoe so it doesn't slide up and off up into your ankle and allow, scree, rocks, debris, sticks, grass, whatever to get in your shoe and cause rubbing and friction that leads to blisters. And one trick that you can do is if you've got a different type of Gator, you can buy Velcro at Home Depot or other, construction like material type stores, and you can cut like a square off on each side, and then it's got adhesive backing that you can then put that onto your shoe. If you've got some sort of clamp or weight, you can press that down, leave it overnight, and now you've got that Velcro on there that you can use with the Altra Gator traps. It's super nice, and I will not run without those. And I always wear Gators even on the sidewalk, because sometimes there's little rocks and things that get in there, and it's a pain to have to stop, untie your shoe, take your shoe off, figure out where the rock's at, get it off, tie it, and then get back on your run. It's nice just to be able to run and finish your run without having to risk getting blisters and other injuries from skin abrasions. So the Altra Superior, I own 3 pairs of this shoe. I absolutely love it. As of the time of this video recording, they're getting ready to come out the 5.0. Usually when they upgrade to a different version of the shoe, there aren't major differences. My guess is it's still going to be the minimalist shoe that Altra puts out there for trail running. Again, I use it for everything. And I have a couple of pairs of Altras that have over 500 miles on them. And they're Superiors. I wear these at work when I'm on my feet at the hospital all day. You'll notice that the treads, the lugs there, are basically gone and flat now. And so, I wear these on the roads. Like, they don't have much grip. I get a little bit slidey with those shoes when I'm going down steep or, kind of rough technical terrain. But they're still fantastic shoes. I absolutely love it. They are my most favorite trail shoes that Altra makes. So, get out there, try them on. And if you get last year's model, again, there's a link to the video over here. And if you click that link, it will take you to how to get a good deal on shoes. And part of that is getting last year's model. So when the Superior 5.0 comes out, you can get a great deal probably at your local shoe store by buying the 4.5s that they've got out right now. But get out there, train hard, train smart, and train Spartan. We'll catch you next time.